Okay, well, first off, let me go ahead and we'll introduce the three not as interesting people, and then we'll go ahead and cover them. I am Apple Cider. I'm one half of the Bronyville podcast. To my left is Chef Sandy, who is the other half.
And you haven't heard, I'm the final draft and the broadcast director and host of Our Free Radio. Come on, Google Doc, you can do it. I know Google, you can do it. Maybe they should introduce themselves.
Really crummy internet connection.
The wonderful ladies to our right, introduce yourself.
Yes, would you please? Want to start closest here and then all the way up?
Hi, my name's Andrea Libman, and I play the voices of Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy.
Fluttershy is 3.
Hello. Hi, I'm Ashleigh Ball, and I am Rainbow Dash and Applejack. All my faithful students. I'm Nicole Oliver. I also do the voice of Cherilee.
There we go. All right, great to have you three on. We can definitely talk just a little bit, definitely about the show, or what we can say about the show. Definitely a little bit of some loopholes and stuff that we can't, tackle over, i.e., hey, what's going on the rest of the season. But we can definitely talk about your experiences. I kind of want to start off from the base level of you as a voice actress, or all three of you as voice actresses, and then moving on, and then we can get into a little bit more, working on the show, working with the production staff, etc.
First of all, can I just say, are there any little kids that are stuck at the back of the room? Because if they are, I would really appreciate it.
Are there any small children? Please move to the front.
Celestia. Princess Celestia.
Just make sure that they can see everything as well.
I can't see anything.
They can, get as much
Nice hat, dude.
time as they can. So let's see, dude. Let's go ahead and start with you, Andrea. I know that earlier we had talked a little, or I had briefly overheard you say that you getting into the voice acting industry was a little bit like, well, you've done it for a while. So would you mind going into that?
Yeah, so I've been in the business for over 20 years. So that's much more than half of my life. So I started when I was really, really young, when I could read and talk, and I did shows like Dino Babies and Madeline.
Reboot episodes earlier, just going like, she really did play that character. All right, well, that's awesome. Let's see, Ashleigh, what about you? Looking at least the IMDb's, it looks like you're a little bit newer to all this, but you also have this as well as a band.
Hey Ocean.
I played a band called Hey Ocean. We're from New York in no time, so just, keep your eyes peeled. I got into this game probably, it is a game, right?
It's a game.
5 or 6 years ago, I was really lucky and I put in the right time. At the right time, and I've done a bunch of different. I've done a lot of Barbie stuff, and I was the voice of a Care Bear, Oopsie Bear, and have done one Strawberry Shortcake actually as well with Andrea.
Oh yes.
And it's been a whirlwind. It's been a crazy crazy ride, and I'm just really happy that I get to be a pony because it's great.
Well, yeah, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I work on camera as well as behind the microphone, so I get to do a lot of different things. It's cool. See, my first cartoon in Vancouver, because I'm from Toronto.
Canada.
Toronto, yeah. Was He-Man, the Masters of the Universe. Kind of really smart people, way smarter than I am. Yeah, and so I do I've done Strawberry Shortcake and the New Adventures of Tom and Jerry and 1001 Nights, and it's really great. It's a blessing. I get to do what I want to do for a living, and I get paid for it too, which is crazy at times. And this is just a really great experience. So thanks for having us.
Well, there were some rumors going around. This is for Ashleigh. There were some rumors going around for a while that you had a bit of a vocal injury. What we were wondering is whether or not that was true, and if so, has it healed?
Yeah, I had a bit of a scary thing happen to me when I was performing with my band. My voice was totally crapped out on me. I was doing a lot of voiceover work right before we left for tour, and
When you talk like this all the time, it kind of tends to wear down your vocal cords.
I just couldn't sing, it just popped up. So we had to cancel the rest of our Eastern tour in Canada, and I just had to go on complete vocal rest, which I've never done before. So yeah, it was a bit weird. No talking for a voice actor that's what? That doesn't make any sense. I can't breathe. So yeah, I'm healed. I'm still taking care of myself, and just trying to take some vocal healing classes. Yeah, I'm on the mend for sure. And it didn't affect my my pony livelihood. So I'm all right.
I think we're all happy to hear that.
So I had a really interesting question. I pulled some across from. Oh, hey, Luna. I had some questions come across on our Twitter feed, and this was one that I thought was really interesting from one of our users, the Running Cat. He actually said, "So, you guys, have there been any voice actors, as you've been maturing in the craft, that you guys have kind of used as a basis of hey, these are people who helped me out, or have kind of been a little bit of a guide as you push forward to kind of make yourselves better as you go."
Nicole Oliver.
Much older than you, I guess you're saying.
I'm a year older than you.
I think I can speak for myself. Since I'm kind of newer at this, there's been a lot of people in the industry in Vancouver, like Tabitha St. Germain on the show, and Kathleen Barr and Kathy Westlut were all on the show as well. It's a small community in Vancouver, so you really get to know people, and there's incredible people that work up north. So,
I'm not close enough, sorry.
Yeah, it's real sensitive. You gotta get close there.
yeah, so just people in Vancouver. I grew up watching a lot of cartoons, but I never really paid attention to the people behind the voices. I think it's a lot easier to do now because of the internet. So yeah, it's definitely been a pleasure to work with such fun women and men.
Oh, wow. For me, most of my heroes have been theater actresses and actors and stage and movie actor and actresses. I always love performers that don't let the medium define themselves, that choose to blaze paths and do things that people say they can't do. So going way back, Maggie Smith, who most people know as McGonagall in Harry Potter, but she was in a movie called The Crime of Miss Jean Brodie, which was my first stage play, and I played Sandy. I don't think it's a great movie, a great play, and she has been amazing. I got to work with Alan Rickman when I went to theater school.
Hey. Hans.
And I guess in terms of just recently, I just did a movie with Alfred Molina, which he was Doc Ock in Spider-Man, but this guy is a theater actor, a stage actor, goes way back. So those are the sort of people that I find my inspiration from. And then, to echo what you've said, the community in Vancouver is super special. It is so talented, so rich in the diversity of the talent available and the generosity of the performers we work with every day. It's a real pleasure and a learning experience all the time, so it's really great.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other big questions before we move into My Little Pony based fun. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, Ocean.
Well, I got one question for you. Just because I know that the three of you all work in Vancouver quite a bit, it seems to me that, at least observing a lot of the new TV shows that are coming out, especially on, say, Sci-Fi and USA, a lot of them are filmed in Vancouver. Would you say that Vancouver is, in a sense, becoming, say, a Canadian Hollywood of sorts? Is that something that you guys are noticing as well?
Well, it already is. It's the second largest production center in North America, just behind Los Angeles. Bigger than New York, even. And, for all areas. So it's been busy for a long time, and for service production especially. For Fox loves us right now. They've got three shows up there. They have Supernatural, Alcatraz, and Fringe. So we've always kind of been a hub for sci-fi. I say great, bring it on. That's all right. X-Files was there. So. Yeah, it's a busy place, and they keep coming up with cartoons, which is wonderful. And I think that's to do with the talent of the writers and the crews that are there and the actors that are there, and also there's some great animation studios in Vancouver that are doing great work from the ground up, and I think that's a great buzz and draw for a lot of people too.
Awesome.
Well, and I guess the other question I got asked is, before we start going into Pony, is there anything you guys would like to share with the fandom outside of Pony, projects you might be working on, things you may want people to know about?
Well, I'm starting work on Supernatural. I'll be showing up in the back third of the season. So.
I got to work on a really cool series this year called Voltron Force.
Yeah.
And it was my first real woman role as Princess Allura. It's on Nickelodeon, and I also got to take part in the new Iron Man series. And that was really fun too. So watch out for those two series.
Well, my show's not as cool. But I'm working on a show called Maya the Bee. I don't know if you've heard of it. And I'm playing Maya.
Please, my God.
All right, well, let's go ahead and transcend into what, I think most people are here today. There's a lot of people here. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's a lot of people here, and there's about 4 times as many online right now.
I think the question that is out there right now, that's probably the biggest stuff, is that, okay, so they created this show called My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. It's targeted towards little girls for the most part. Let me rescind that. But it does have that little thing of like, okay, My Little Pony, it's a girl show using the big quotation marks. But it's definitely transcended into something a little bit different than that. How do you guys feel about that?
I think it's incredible.
Yeah, I think this is great. This series
positive message behind it, and it's bringing people together. And
there's a place for everybody, right? That's what I think. What I take from it is that it is all a team. We're all parts. We're all elements of harmony. We're all parts of the great circle, and you know, and that there is a necessity for each and every one of us to be here and to work together. And I think if there was more of that message out there in general, as hokey as it sounds, I think it'd be a lot better place.
Oh, that makes sense.
How are you doing, Joe?
Well, I think, you know, today for me is sort of the first time I've had the chance to interact with everyone. And everyone is so kind, so positive, so wonderful to talk to. It's just been so enjoyable for me to meet all of you, and I think it's a wonderful thing, and I'm thankful to be here and to get the chance to meet you.
Hey!
Good job then. You're obviously not scared enough. Hey, you. All right, so as I said, we've got the whole bronies, all of us on this, just pretty much saturating the internet with tons of just pretty much adding everything out there. Music, art. You know, here's a good question for you. How long into, like, at what point did you find out that there was this momentum, this you know, brony movement, or you know, whatever you wish to call it?
I remember Jason coming into the studio and telling us, saying, "Oh, there's, you know, bronies. What's that?" Serious? And then, oh, you know, we've got all this whole fan base, and you know, there's all these comments on YouTube, etc. And we were like,
That was exactly my answer. Right? It was probably last summer, I guess. Yeah, last spring, summer. Yeah, whatever that was. But yeah, it was Jason, who's the co-creator, producer, God, right? Science paycheck. And he came in talking about this counterculture movement called Bronies, and the message behind it. And at first, for me, I can speak for myself, and I think I said this on an interview. My initial reaction was, "What? What?" The more I interacted with the fan base, and the more I heard about the fan base, and there's a lot being written about y'all now. I think it's great. I think it's great. Why not? I mean, man, I wish more people would celebrate what they love and put it out there than hide in the shadows and all try and be the same bland piece of beige.
The impact of bronies first hit me when my bandmate Dave called me up and he was like, have you checked our YouTube site lately for Hey O'Shea? And he's like, there's been like a bunch of comments about you know, referring to My Little Ponies and like what the hell is going on. And I went to our YouTube channel quickly and kind of checked out some of the comments under the videos, being like, Applejack can sing, like, hey, Dash and Applejack, or whatever. And yeah, it was like all these comments coming from bronies or My Little Pony fans, and yeah, it was pretty crazy, like those worlds kind of meeting, and yeah, he was really confused as to what bronies were, but
now they know.
Yeah, now they know.
You're fully aware, and you've had them show up at the concerts that you've had. I know that I've bought CDs. You should buy CDs. They're on Amazon, at least one CD. So. iTunes. iTunes, there you go. But so you've come into contact and meet space in the real world with them at shows and other events?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've got a couple. just quick specific questions, I guess. One thing is, AFR did a interview with, well, actually we did one with Maddie Peters and then one with Michelle Krieger. And both of them, this is for you, Andrea, both of them told us that you were really good during recording at switching between Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie, like, instantly. And my question for you is...
She's a year older than her.
And secondly, if so, is that something you trained to do? Is that something you...
I paid them to say that.
They both said that you even did that, say, during singing or whatever, that you were able to just switch right away, and they said it was seamless somehow. So I was
That's so nice of them to say that.
Do it.
Fluttershy is really quiet and nice.
That's why I walk into the studio with a bottle of Advil.
I think that's what we call proof positive. Yeah,
Go for it.
You know, and actually, this is for you, Ashleigh. They both also told us that, first of all, that they're huge Hey Ocean fans, if they haven't told you. They both made a big sing along. My question is, when you sing for Hey Ocean, and when you sing for My Little Pony, do you do it differently? And if so, have you ever found when you're singing for Hey Ocean that a little bit of Applejack seeps in?
Maybe if we were to record like a hoedown song.
Dun, 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 dun.
Pony hoedown. Yeah, I think I definitely try to sound differently from my normal singing voice when I sing for both characters. I mean, obviously a little bit of my own singing voice is going to sneak in there, but yeah, I don't think I've ever noticed it sneaking in on stage.
Well, I'm not accused of
Unless
those
it was like we're doing like a Dolly Parton cover or something. But yeah, no, I try to keep it as separate as possible, and yeah, just do my best to stay true to the character and not let any Hey Ocean sneak in there.
Well, I got a follow-up question for you as well, which is, where did you develop the Southern accent from? Did you watch something, or did you just... Because when we asked Michelle Krieger this, she just said, "Oh, I just did it."
Sure do look funny.
Well, when they first asked me to audition, or when I first got the audition for both parts, yeah, I didn't really think I had a great Southern accent. It wasn't something I did very often, but I tried to make Applejack kind of a cross between Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton. Yeah, I listened to lots of Dolly.
No way.
She's got quite Southern accent. So yeah, it was just kind of listening. I think I'm very ear trained. Like I just hear something and I try and pick it up as well as I can. So yeah, it was just a lot of listening to Dolly interviews when she said, "It costs a lot to look this cheap." But yeah, I don't think I'm right on with it, but yeah, it's a really fun character to play for sure.
As a native Southern, you do a good job. You do a pretty good job on that. One thing I've noticed, and this was just in one of the behind-the-scenes videos that I caught, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit as well. It sounds like that opposed to in some environments where the voiceover action all happens, you go into your booth, you do your lines, you pop back out, that's your day. It sounds like by the way that they have their setup, you guys are all in the room together, just interacting and being able to kind of gauge off of your reactions. How do you feel that? Do you feel that a lot of that energy comes across on the show, and does that make the entire process a lot better?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we feed off of each other so much in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, Tara's in LA,
Oh.
Vancouver, but for the most part, yeah, we're all in the room at the same time and feed off of each other and try hard not to laugh at each other, the double entendres that Tabitha always brings up as well.
But yeah, it's definitely it's a lot different than like, for example, doing Japanimation stuff, because you're in a room with headphones on, listening to beeps, and it's dark and scary. And you're alone. These series they're so much fun. There's so many. I think I look forward to it every week.
I look forward to Tabitha also brings in cookies every week. Tabitha plays Rarity for those of you.
No terror, no Tabitha blasphemy.
Just the points where Rarity just decided, or Tabitha decided just to go ahead and just sing in that character and really just own her role. Oh, so good. She is so good at that.
And her Granny Smith is unbelievable. You demonstrate? Oh, I can't do Granny Smith.
Luna.
That's untouchable.
If they want to go ahead and break down the two voices of it later, we can do that, but that's dependent on all of what they want to do.
Preserve their energy.
I think first we'll do that before it all turns into Monkey Town. Just to be gentle on them.
Well, I was going to say, when you were talking about the difference in how the show was recorded, one thing I saw when I was looking at some of the production photos was that occasionally, especially for the singing, they'll record in kind of, relatively unusual places. I saw one where they were recording for at the gala. They were in a large room with a big brick wall. When we were talking to Maddie Peters on EFR, she said that she recorded her Cutie Mark Crusaders song in somebody's house. So I was just curious, when you're recording for My Little Pony, is it different in terms of the venue than the other projects that you worked on? All three of you?
No, we did some of the singing at Daniel Ingram's friend's studio, I think it was, at the beginning, but now we're doing everything at Studio B. So all of the singing and the episodes are all recorded in the same space.
Do you do the singing and the voice work in separate sessions then? I mean, is there special time set aside then for the musical side?
Yeah, we usually do it before the session, just wear us down. And then we have the song stuck in our head like forever.
That's some ammunition you can use. You'll get this. I don't even want to give them the ammunition to start shooting it back. So,
well, that song reminds me. I was going to ask, do any of you listen to any of, say, the Brony musicians' remixes of the songs? Have you heard what they've done with their
Pinkie.
Because there are quite a few out there.
Yeah, I have to be honest, I have not listened to all of it. I've seen some of it. There's a lot. Like, the volume is mind-boggling and humbling. Yeah, it's pretty great. It's great, but I may Google from time to time, late at night.
Late at night.
You gotta be careful.
I think I recently heard a song that someone created. It's like a techno remix, and it's just taking. Sorry?
Sunshine and celery stalks.
Sunshine and.
Let me describe it first.
It's literally just like a line that Rainbow Dash says, and it's like I don't even know what the line is. It's like one.
Been dreaming, I've been waiting.
I think I'm just yelling something. I don't even know what, but it just like takes that one line and just like makes this crazy techno thing out of it. So that was pretty cool.
I didn't put those in my bag.
I haven't heard much of the music, but I've seen quite a bit of art, and it's pretty phenomenal.
So it sounds like you guys at least browse around a little bit. Not to the extent that you're probably hitting websites every day. It's just an occasional, just like, I wonder what's on YouTube this week, or this month, this quarter. Make Equestria quarterly. All right, Seth, she said it's great. Make Equestria quarterly.
Think you should know.
Yeah, there he is. There's men.
I have no idea.
All right, that's your magazine you gotta make.
that actually brings me to one more question for you guys. Is there something in the fandom you would like to see, either art-wise or music-wise? Because I've asked this of other voice actors before, and I warn them when I say this, that anything you say will probably get done by tonight.
Is that a challenge?
It's a challenge!
You wield great power.
Are you guys think of anything that you have to see?
I know, that was an easy question to ask. I apologize.
Okay, I think this is out there. I think you've had Rarity design clothes for all of those, right? Somebody's done
Yeah.
That's a whole Nicole.
No, there have been like stuffed animals done with the gala dresses and everything like that. So that has been done both in like physical form and stuffed animal form. What was the obscene price that the one sold on eBay? Like $2,500. $24.75 for a stuffed animal. Fluttershy.
Jeez, man. Why?
Just to tell someone that simmer now. It's okay. Another thing that I think, well, we can kind of add to this. I think this kind of goes to something I think Nicole kind of alluded to. Is the show it does work for children, and we kind of have to put that definitely first.
Well, I guess my challenge would be then, with all this talent, can you tell him a mom? Is there a children's charity or something maybe you can do an auction for where the proceeds go?
There is one already.
Raised $17,500 in 5 weeks. 30% of that went to Child's Play. That helps get children sick from hospitals, video games. The other 30% mostly went to Red Cross, and then the rest went to guys who are just like you, living the dream, making independent games and selling them DRM free airports so they can get them easily and play them. So. A Smile charity album. I can't remember the exact. I think it's just broniesforgood.com. Yeah. Go to broniesforgood.com. It's still ongoing. I'm still collecting, but we're in a lapse right now. Go to broniesforgood.com, and all their proceeds are going directly for the Children's Cancer Association. There are already over 16,000.
That I had no idea about, and that I'm thrilled to know about, and I think more people should know of that one, because I think it's really important to give back and that's part of what the show's about too. So that's wonderful. That's great. Really, really wonderful.
And I just want to briefly mention as well, and Maddie Peters mentioned it on EFR. She is running a charity as well for World Vision to help alleviate the drought that's happening right now in Southern Africa. So far, mostly Bronies have raised, at least last I checked, $4,000 towards that effort. Her goal is $10,000 by the end of the year. I'm hoping we can do that by the end of the month. Oh yeah. So. Her link is on EFR's website, www.everfreeradio.com. You go there.
You can't go on it because you're banned, J-Rod.
Donate. It helps. It's great.
You're banned from EFR.
It's just kind of like, you want to know what we've done? All right, we got some information. It's
awesome. Yeah.
Just wanted to go ahead and be like, yeah, have you heard about these crazy things we've been doing? It's like,
now I have, and now
You know what my fans are doing?
I think it's a bit of a bragging point for you guys. I think it'll be good.
We started a movement.
Tragically.
We did voiceover work, and all of a sudden it's turned into this crazy phenomenon.
It's all you.
Yeah.
Well, you know, to bring it maybe back to the show a little bit.
That'd be a good idea. Let's go for that.
I know that I talked to you a little bit about this, Nicole, when we did our interview last month. But we keep hearing over and over there's going to be more singing, more music happening as the season progresses and as the next season progresses. Just wanted to know, are you guys still recording? You know, are you guys still working on that? You know?
Are we still working on episodes?
Well, I heard that there was a big push for episodes just a couple of weeks ago. I was just wondering, you know, whether or not you guys are doing a lot more music, because that seems to be the trend we've been hearing about.
There's always music in the shows. As to who sings is always a mystery every week until the script comes out. And for you to see who will be singing in future episodes, you'll have to keep watching.
I refuse to watch. You can't make me. Okay, I'll watch.
Future episodes confirmed.
Yay!
Season 3 is looking really good.
It is. Actually, if I may go into just a little bit, I'm kind of curious with what we've had released thus far, which is all of Season 1 and a bit of Season 2. And of course, I know that you've got Season 2 and some and 3 in your brain right now. I guess the easiest thing to go with Season 1. Was there? You mentioned Winter Wrap Up. Has there been any other songs that you guys really enjoyed doing?
At the gala.
That have been just really fun on your set?
Oh God, no! Don't mention
I really
cupcakes.
like doing my pet song with Andrea.
They must save their energy, or else the world is doomed.
I like doing my lullaby to Fluttershy's. Hush now, quiet now, it's time to lay your seat.
Don't scare.
Room at the internet, a single tear went down someone's cheek. What we've been waiting for all night.
Yay!
2,200 viewers.
Oh, that's almost 2,200 viewers.
I guess the gala song was pretty epic. We all had our moments to shine.
Been waiting, I've been dreaming.
Fine there, don't worry.
I don't think she has some nice songs, has she?
This is the conundrum we're faced with here.
Yes, with
Whether to go to audience questions.
Oh no. No. Too many horrifying questions.
Let's see.
All the bronies in this place are crazy.
A lot of shaking heads. No. Okay. Well, the staff can help out. If you guys want to go ahead and run around and see if there's any questions, screen it for us.
Clearly, these are three extremely important people involved in the show.
Don't creep them out.
Limit yourself to actual questions. We all can agree they're awesome. and telling them that you think it's true, you know, it's assumed, I think. So if you guys have actual questions for them, they raise your hand. But they're being screened. So think about your questions.
Our first question comes from Scott Porter. He's asking, is there a question that you've ever been asked you wish there were? It was. And what's the answer to that?
No.
Didn't think so.
I've been asked questions I wish I'd never been asked. And the answer to those were usually terrible.
I will apologize personally for doing that.
Yeah. Okay. He's got to go. Andrea, what was your reaction to hearing your normal Fluttershy voice turned into Flutter Guy? Male Fluttershy during the first Sephora episode.
Oh, wasn't it Keith David?
No, that's one of my favorite things that ever happened in the show. I thought it was brilliant because there couldn't be a bigger contrast, right? Like,
And in person, there couldn't be a bigger
us side by side is pretty much hilarious.
It's funny.
And then voices side by side is awesome too. And he's an incredible actor. So I thought it was awesome.
Damn.
They want to ask directly.
Yeah, we can try that. We can see.
That makes sense? Have there been any lines or particular moments from recording shows that have personally touched you?
Yeah, stay in line.
Princess? Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I often have these massive stories I have to tell, right? And bring the history in that. So I just remember the first couple of episodes being scared out of my pants, wondering what the heck I got myself into. Because very rarely do you go into a script where you read the first page, it's all chunks, right? And you see Princess Celestia, Princess Celestia, and then what? And it kept going. It's 5 pages, and I was like, what the? So those are trying to make a historical something to get everybody up to date of where we're at, trying to make it meaningful and emotionally relevant. And that's where I panic, but also I think the juiciest, funnest stuff to do is that. As for specific lines, I just love saying every pony. Missed like a horse reference. Thump your hooves, sort of clap your hands. Those are kind of our fun games and sessions.
Main hat.
Yeah, main hat.
Yeah, just go through there and you're just looking like this is a better thing. Take it back to the writers.
You missed this.
Everybody, what's that? This is actually, I can kind of extrapolate on this a little bit. Nicole, playing as Celestia and also Cherilee,
yes.
You do kind of serve as a moral guide almost to the show.
Well, it's not a far extension for
All right, kids, stop knocking it off. Has a bit of that.
Our next question comes up actually from Alex S. He's one of the most famous musicians in the Bronycon.
So, on behalf of the Brony musician community, I was wondering what is the likelihood of you guys working with some of us on songs and whatnot?
I can jump in on that since there's probably some contract stuff in there.
We encourage you guys to make remixes and stuff of the episodes and the songs that are already out there. I think that's really amazing what what you guys have done. Yeah, so I guess continue doing that. I don't know as far as like collaborating with the show. We don't have any part of.
We have no say over what is written or for the music that is created until it comes in front of us, and then we have to lift it off the page.
I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be Pony.
Yes.
I'll contact their agent.
Are you going to be playing here tonight or today?
Yeah, tonight.
You need to make a point to make sure that Andrea here is partying with Pinkie. Just saying.
Oh, yes.
Just saying. Good job.
Thanks, Deb.
That's Alex Jessel.
Okay, this is Connor Cashman. Hi, I got two things. How do you feel when you read your lines? Do you actually feel really silly when you read them?
Well, if it's a silly line, you feel pretty silly. A lot of the time when you're, I know Andrea has a lot of conversations with herself, and me too. You feel a little bit nuts when you're like going back and forth, like, you know, that one episode when I challenged myself to the Iron Pony competition. You get used to it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Extra crazy.
Crazy!
Okay, and one more question for Ashleigh. Can you please, in an angry abstract way, say, forget you, this is, I can eat all these apples?
Forget you, I can eat all these apples.
I think it bears a little bit of clarification for her. You just did a line from a popular fan animation.
You just fed the internet, and the internet rejoiced.
Yes.
Next person.
Which pony do you think you're most like, and who's your favorite?
Took my question. No biggie. At least the question is asked.
Well, undoubtedly, I'm most like Princess Celestia. I mean, come on.
Certainly has the hair.
Little Celestia?
Well, my students, I'm very, very happy to see you all today. And I hope you all take away the spirit of friendship with you.
Does it have to be our own character?
What would you have to go for?
I want to be like Pinkie Pie because she's such a party animal. Being Rainbow and Applejack, they're both pretty down to earth ponies. So I could never choose between either of them. They're both very dear to my heart.
I think who I'm most like is probably Twilight Sparkle. I like reading and books, and I love to have her library.
She is a pretty good pony.
She's the cutest, smartest, all-around best pony.
This is Andrew H. So one reason I think that the fandom has spread so far is because all these people here, all these wonderful people, can relate to the different characters and perceive them in all these different ways.
Question.
Like, for example, Twilight Sparkle and Celestia, I immediately perceive as like a grad student and a professor advisor. And, you know, I totally relate to the episode where she freaks out about not getting a weekly research. it's just, I noticed that there are so many perceptions about this. Is there any character that you perceive in a peculiar way? And is there any particular character that you associate it with because of that?
Well, you know what character I quite like watching is listening to is Rarity. She's really much deeper than she presents herself to be, and I think she kind of represents that judge the book by the cover, axiom where you look at her and you think she's a certain way, but she's got lots of deep thoughts, and she's very caring, and that's why she's one of the ponies. But I really like her character. I mean, Tabitha's performance is fantastic and fun, and I love all the the way she talks in the almost British kind of fashion stuff. But Rarity, I think, for me is somebody who.
The question I was asking there is there a situation, say, in your life that you can relate to from the show, something that happened in the show that you kind of, maybe something like that?
I think that for me, Applejack is an amazing pony that I can really relate to because family is so important to her, and for me, my family is huge. So just having that instilled in this pony is it's really important. So, is it bad to say that my own characters?
We're not setting any rules here.
Okay.
All right, shrug. Okay.
Shrug.
Okay, this is...
backwards tag.
This is CJ Loomis, a.k.a. Wolfbane.
Okay, you've noticed how big the fan base has gotten so far. My question is, how much bigger do you think it's going to get, and for how long?
I give it about 10 years.
As long as My Little Pony exists, there will be bronies.
Oh, look at the goatee on this guy.
Rockabrony, a.k.a. Joseph. I just wanted to know, there's a lot of voice mimicry popping up around the internet. Do you guys approve or disapprove of how they're using your voices and mimicry?
Gary's mod.
Pinkies and Fluttershies, just for usually fan products and things like that.
Precisely. It totally depends if it's appropriate or inappropriate. You don't want to be a character.
Oh, really?
Some whacked up stuff.
I haven't heard anything, but I think it's great. I mean, it's like a creative expression, right? So if people want to do voices and put it out there, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, they say mimicry is, it's a form of flattery. But for me personally, with my personal moral base, I mean, as long as it's tasteful, then that's fine. If it veers off into that, then would I be supportive of it? No. But would I say it has no place? No, that's not my place to do so.
Words from Celestia herself.
What was it like working with John Delancey?
I wish we got to work with him.
Break your heart.
Yeah, he recorded it all separately, so we did not get to meet. Which was sad. But it was so cool to hear his voice as Discord. Like, that was incredible.
Yes.
This is
Marmee Chicken. I have a question for you. How is it like doing Pinkie Pie in that one episode where she just kind of loses it and she feels like really
goes full cupcakes.
I don't know. Is the only time she's
the one where she invents all those. I think it was a huge challenge, and it was fun, and you guys were really supportive of me because I remember everyone in the room just kind of going, "Okay, you can do it."
Watching those guys.
Okay, next up is Michael Schnapp. You do Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie, but you must have a favorite that you like to voice actor.
Why?
Sunshine from Tugs?
I know, but don't you think that they both have really great qualities?
You don't have to get into best pony arguments right now. Yeah.
Derpy is best pony.
Okay. Joystick.
What's your favorite episode?
It might be ones that aren't even published yet. That's a problem.
Sonic Rainbow.
Yeah. The first episode was pretty phenomenal. Like how, just the beginning of everything in Ponyville and how,
Does it go? Pass it down, I guess.
The whole story that's that.
Don't mind if I do.
What?
Here you go.
Just the introduction to all the characters. The beginning's always the best because we knew there was more to come, right? And so if that's where we started, wow. What else was? What's your favorite episode?
Sonic Rainbow.
It's hard to say we love them all. The ones that we're in, those are our favorite.
Right. So I have a question for you guys. What's your? So I can't. Kind of nervous. What do you?
Don't be nervous. Don't worry.
Okay. What do you got to say about the people who are kind of like hating on the bronies? For example, how when I told my sister about this whole phenomenon, she said that everyone here is a pedophilia. So what do you think about?
You dare call us pedophorics?
So long story short, what do you think of all the people who think that everyone who watches this show is like either gay or like being a child and stuff?
I think the way I'd rather address it all is we're here for positivity and you know who you are, you know what you're about, and you don't have to prove anything to anybody else but yourself. Keep on the positivity trip and have the negativity go away.
Haters gonna hate.
Make room for Hucko coming through. Someone pulled the cable out from the internet in the other room. He needs to get back there and fix it so his screen gets back up. Let him through.
No! I'm cutting it down.
We've obviously had the chance to talk and to meet a bunch of you today, and you all seem like really lovely, caring, wonderful people. So whatever
And crazy.
the internet or whoever's hating on you guys, just ignore those people, and you're not doing anything wrong. You're just expressing yourselves. So.
It's animation. A show can pretty much be whatever it is on its own merits. If it's good animation, if it's a good story, if it does what it's supposed to do and it does it well, content shouldn't matter. If it's made for the smallest of children up to your Adult Swim and your very mature work, as long as it is produced well and that there's care and love put into it, it'll succeed.
The story is the story is the story. It's always, going to film school. That's what I had nailed in my head every day. The story is the story is the story. What's the story? Does it matter to you? Can it impact other people?
Certainly a better story than you guys put out the Fox News.
Yeah. Has those elements. That's why we're all here. It's why we're all here. It's because it has that kind of impact.
Hi, Reese Mello. On the subject of derpy hosts.
Do they know Derpy?
Where is he?
Derpy's a girl, right?
Muffins.
Derpy's kind of a silent character. What do you think she sounds like? And could you maybe do an example of it?
Bald dumb rat. This time, honey.
Yeah, that's kind of nice because for all we know, that could be treading on future revelations.
Future thing, contract things.
I brought you a letter.
Does she not have a voice yet?
No. Just completely one of the next.
She's the, if you know, she's the gray character.
Gray character guys that go like this.
Yeah.
So what's the next question?
You don't know anything about her boobs. You're not at liberty to say.
I just want a quick answer.
Okay, we got Robbie K.
We're back online.
He's not related to Robbie E, is he?
Hi, this is a question for all three of you. I was just wondering, I think we're all wondering if you enjoyed yourselves at Bronycon so far, the Bronycon experience. And I'm sure we'd all love to have you back in the future. Would you ever consider coming to another Bronycon?
In a New York second.
Always good back.
I'd love to come back to my in town.
Well, there you go.
Tara Strong better come. Of course, you probably know, but what you gonna do?
This is Christopher Wilson.
Well, waiting for the new Pony episodes, I've caught a few episodes of the new Strawberry Shortcake, and I noticed that the characters Lemon and Plum Pudding sound almost identical to Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. That's something you did on purpose, or did that just come naturally?
That'd be strange, wouldn't it?
I think that the characters we play on Strawberry Shortcake are a lot more, they're a little more cutesy, I think. Would you say that? They're a little more, like, cute and more geared towards little girls.
And annoying. No offense to any of you Strawberry Shortcake fans.
Badass, the Rainbow Dash.
I hope the internet was back for that.
Okay, everybody calm down.
We had a nickel joke for every time somebody mentioned that.
Yeah, that's one of your popular phrases.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
First off, I just wanted to say thank you so much for what you guys have done and what you're doing. I think everybody here obviously really appreciates it. My question is, we've gotten a lot of feedback from Lauren Faust and from Jason Thiessen, and they made it clear that from the get-go, they wanted to make something a little more than your average little girl's cartoon. They had something bigger in mind. And I was wondering if you guys have a moment in your mind when the first time you kind of realized that was happening, or if there's anything you can point to.
Well, when I saw what an episode looked like, I realized it was going to be very different. I mean, the artwork is fantastic. And, sorry, boy, is everything okay over there, boys? Yeah, just the artwork for sure. It was something that made me realize it was very different.
Yeah, I think just reading the episodes, like they would just keep getting better and better and like way more complex, and just the storylines are really a lot different from your run-of-the-mill cartoons that you're getting these days. So yeah, I think that definitely makes it stand out.
I also found that they let us run wild in a sense, especially me. Keep that?
Oatmeal.
The character demands it.
What's going on?
Requires a little insanity.
This is Brian, just Brian.
Oh, hi, Brian.
All right, so yeah, just Brian. All right. So one thing I was kind of wondering, one of the, I guess you say, the dominating factors I've noticed in voice actors and voice actresses especially is essentially they all have talent in singing. And is that something that is that kind of a requirement to...
I thought you were going to say we're so good looking. You couldn't believe it.
Y'all have a voice for TV, so,
Common knowledge.
And then, okay, so I saw some not essentially head shakes, like it's not a requirement.
Well, I don't know if it's a requirement, but there is certainly, I mean, if you do sing, you can understand
if you're placing a voice up here
or you're placing your voice down here. It's a tonal thing, and I think if you're a singer, you can do that and keep doing it consistently over time because you're trained that way. Yeah.
And singing, I assume to be a good singer, you have to have a really good ear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then kind of a follow-up, Ms. Libman, all right, how come you don't sing Pinkie Pie? What was that?
Well, Andrea's voice naturally singing is really a lot, I think, rockier and bluesier than they were looking for.
Bluesy.
So,
we don't really know what. She could do it.
Sing.
Thank you.
Show it to the crowd.
Show it.
Okay, but do Daniel. Here we go.
We got a little bit more time to have. Let's see.
Mr. Mark Misery.
Thank you, of course. But I was just asking, I was just wondering for you, Ashley, since you're a singer, would you want more singing parts for Applejack or Rainbow Dash?
Yeah, I mean, I love singing. It's always fun for me to sing in a different voice and kind of have that challenge. And yeah, I mean, I'll sing whatever song comes my way, and I'm totally excited for future episodes, whether I'm singing or not. Maybe who knows what's gonna happen? I don't know. Yeah, I enjoy it. I love it. I love singing. It's great.
Okay, Mr. Trevor.
Ding 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 ding.
And people say that has a lot of connection. What would you three, what would be probably the most essential, single biggest piece of advice you have to give to someone who's aspiring to do voice acting?
Biggest piece of advice for voice actor, aspiring voice actor. It's a tough world to get into, definitely.
I'm sorry if I gave you a hard question.
It's a really tough game. I get a lot of people asking me, how do I do this? Should I do this? I also have 2 little boys, and I think voice actors are voice acting is way better than on-camera acting, especially for kids, for anybody, because it's actually something where it's based on your talent, not on what you look like, right? So
I can do a little boy, and it doesn't matter if I look like this, because I can do that voice, right?
Flutters?
Is that Flutters? Practice. love it to the toes and back, be able to look in the mirror, get a thick skin, and never give up.
And yet, for people that can easily slip in and out of accents, like I've definitely noticed that that's a good tool to have under your belt. And also for any women that are looking to get into voiceover work, a lot of little boys are cast as women are cast to play little boys. So
because our voices won't
Yeah,
change.
if you do a little boy voice, it's probably a good idea that you get into it.
yeah, like Bart Simpson, but he's played by a woman, as you guys know. Yeah.
Okay, and the final question, Katie. Katie.
Hi, Katie. Hi. I guess a few things back kind of blew my question out of the water. I know you don't sing Pinkie Pie, but on the Hub they aired a commercial called Equestria Girls, which is a parody of California Girls. If any of you saw that, what did you think of it?
I just watched it. Adorable. Yeah, it was super cute. Yeah. Like, I'm surprised they got the rights to do that. Yes, they did. Yeah, Katy Perry must be a brony.
Or a Philly. I would assume she is a brony.
Well, we just found out that Anthony Bourdain might be one. So we'll see. Yeah, he was making some tweets on Twitter that were
like, let's just stop on over.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, that takes care of the line here. We'll need to get a little bit set up done for the Daniel Ingram interview coming up as well. Can't do that, sadly. So, first off, I want to go ahead and thank all three of our wonderful guests.